So here's a quick post about a husband and father who is leaving, abandoning his pregnant wife because she crossed the line. She crossed the line because she's deliberately stopped taking her birth control when they supposedly agreed no more kids. He made it clear, didn't want another child. She felt that she deserved another child, deceived him, and here you go. And he's kicking her to the curb. And you're going to see here, the comment section is going crazy over this whole thing. But not for the reason you think. Title: Am I the a-hole for leaving my pregnant wife because she stopped using birth control on purpose? Now listen to this. It says, my wife wanted a third child. I did not. We agreed on 2. She got pregnant all of a sudden and she decided to keep it despite my protest. Well, here's the question. Why didn't the guy just get a vasectomy? You know? If you couldn't really trust her, but then again, maybe she was convincing that, okay, we're good with 2. But her doing that, absolutely betrayal, not cool. We had a lot of fights, and she went to her sister's house. I think her sister and her had a fight, and her sister confessed to me that my wife had stopped using birth control on purpose. There you go. You can't trust her. Now, indeed, if this is his kid, now he has a third child to raise and pay for and all that. I'd be like, okay, this will be my child, and I'll provide for this child if this is my child. But you and I, we're fucking done. But it doesn't quite go out like that. She showed me the chats where they both planned it because I was not budging on the third child. Right there, they planned the whole thing. And the sister and her get into a fight, now she tells him. No loyalty amongst thieves. After my shock subsided, anger came rushing in. I asked my wife for the whole truth. She first denied it, then she confessed. I got a lawyer and I served her papers. Whew, this guy's a messing around. I was worried that I couldn't divorce her while pregnant, but thankfully it's allowed in my state. She is 7 months pregnant, so I asked for a date 6 months from now. I feel by that time she'll be good enough to attend court. Well, she's going to do everything she can to avoid that. She didn't see this one coming. And again, I got no problem with this up to this point. I told my wife that I'm not going to support her in her pregnancy or childbirth. I will not drive her. I will not feed her. I will not help her change. I will not be in the labor room with her, and I don't want anything to do with the baby. She wanted him. She can keep him all for herself. I called her sister to take her away so she can support her because I won't do anything for her. Thankfully, her sister did come. So I also don't blame this guy for a lot of these things. But if he's saying that basically that kid is on its own, no, that ain't cool. Because it is not the kid's fault that his soon-to-be ex-wife is a deceiving, lying, manipulating a-hole. If that indeed is his kid, obviously have a DNA test, paternity test, whatever, and find out. And if it is his kid, he can't, in my opinion, that's horrible to abandon that child. What are the other kids going to think, you know? And he, of course, in my opinion, he doesn't have to be married to her, but he can raise that third child and love that child because it's not the child's fault and provide because it is his child. But believe me, she ought to be paying for something too, I might add. But she's just terrible, and this does happen a lot. I did get emergency temporary custody of my 2 kids, but I'm perfectly fine with giving her 50-50 custody when she's healed from childbirth and can take care of herself and them properly. We did have a video call, and I told her she has a choice for adoption, and I will sign my consent. She said she can't go through with it, and I said okay. Her mother started threatening me with child support, and I told her that if she files for child support, then I will just take it out of the college fund contributions for my 2 other kids. She wanted the child, and she can take care of him financially as well. She is begging for another chance, and how she is so sorry. No, she's not. She just didn't expect you to leave. That's why. She's not sorry one bit. She plotted and planned this whole thing. I don't care. I'm done with her and her baby. I don't think I'm wrong here. I didn't tell her to stop birth control. I'm disgusted by her. So, again, I don't blame this guy at all for being infuriated by this whole thing. Not one bit. I don't blame him for divorcing her because you can't have a relationship marriage without trust. She deliberately deceived and planned this whole thing out. And it's still really funny that her sister ratted her out, even though the sister helped her in this whole plot. But it is not, if that baby is his, it is not the baby's fault, and it's horrible because it would be his child to abandon his child because of her actions. Yes, she didn't want to have to raise a third child and pay for a third child and all that, and you can't blame her for being pissed. But for God's sakes, this is your kid. But, of course, fine that have the test taken and all that to make sure, but kick her to the curb, no problem. Let her cry a river because she didn't expect this. So now the comment section. The comment section is losing their minds, saying this guy's the biggest scumbag in the world for not for divorcing her. They're reasonable about that, but just how he's handling the kid. And I'm going to read a few. One guy says here, there are no good people here. For starters, I hate when women use reproduction as a form of control. They act like my body, my choice, the right to make godlike unilateral decisions. She and her sister manipulated him to get her way. Opie, on the other hand, went nuclear and is destroying his entire family. He's basically saying the court might force me to pay for the kid, which I'll do out of the other kid's savings. But they can't force me to actually be a father. He's going to lose his other 2 kids in the process and create lifelong enemies. I'm hoping that maybe he's just so pissed off about this he will calm down and realize this is my child, it's not the child's fault, that type of thing. But I don't blame him all being pissed, I'm blamed for divorcing her. Another guy says here, number 1, if he was adamant about against more kids, why didn't he not get a vasectomy? It's literally an outpatient procedure with 1 week or less recovery time. Why do men act like they have no control when they can handle it themselves? That is a very good point. But I guess he didn't think that his wife would ever do that. 2, he's going to ruin the 3rd kid's mental and well-being and sense of value. He'll do things with and for his oldest 2 children while shunning and leaving out his 3rd child. Yes, I say his because technically this child is his. 3, she's awful for going behind his back to get pregnant. She's so wrong for that, and I wouldn't trust her after that either. Divorcing is appropriate. However, this 3rd child will now suffer because of mom's selfishness and manipulative behavior. Yeah, the 3rd child is going to suffer. It isn't like the dad's totally the big villain here. I understand he's pissed off. But also, mom's the big villain too. He made it clear. And again, the kid's going to suffer both if the dad goes along with this and the mother's actions. You know? Another one. This is complicated. A betrayal for certain. And your wife is absolutely an a-hole for not respecting your wishes and basically taking you out of the decision-making process completely. Absolutely no respect from her then, and when she lied about it later too. Your anger is completely warranted. However, and I understand it's hard to step back and think rationally when you're probably the most pissed off you've ever been in your entire life. This will still be your child and can be an amazing person. I would say that we'll need you around and help teach you honesty and respect for others. It might not learn from that from their mother. That child is definitely not going to learn that from mommy. If I were you and I'm making decisions right now, I would wait. The child did not do this to you. The mother did. Divorce her, but keep a relationship with your future son. So I will say this. I really hope the guy just is pissed off, betrayed, all that, calms down. And if the child is his, he will give that child a chance, because it's not the kid's fault, for goodness sake. Otherwise, that kid will be raised by the a-hole mother there. And I might mention, he could also destroy the relationship he has with his other 2 kids, because certainly the wife is going to try to do everything to destroy the relationship with his 2 kids. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments section. I'm sure you'll all agree with me he has the right to kick the wife to the curb. I don't think anybody will disagree with me there. But with regards to the child, let's hear what you guys think. Is he abandon the kid, that's it? Or it is his kid, if it is his kid, has a responsibility to take care of the kid, it's not the kid's fault. I really like to hear what you guys think. I'm going to guess the majority of you are going to agree with me that, yeah, she's an a-hole, kick her to the curb, but it's not the kid's fault. But you never know. I'd like to hear the comments. I'm sure there's going to be a whole lot which you guys would have to think of. And remember, put yourself in this guy's shoes. It ain't going to be easy.